Here comes the bread. Hey foodies, welcome to Cooking Shooking. Today I'm going to show you how to make some brown bread without oven. So it's eggless baking without oven on the roll. So let us start making it. We are going to start off by heating up 200 milliliters of water. To the lukewarm water, I'm going to add in the sugar, which is 1 tablespoon, and 1.5 teaspoons of yeast. Here I'm using instant yeast, and give it a good stir around. Now I'm going to keep this aside for about 10 minutes. On the other hand, I'm going to take our wheat flour into a bowl, followed by our plain flour maida, oats, milk powder and salt. Give this a good mix around. Our yeast is proofed. Now let's mix up our batter. So our dough is clumped. Now let's knead it. So before adding the dough, I'm going to add the butter over here. Now I'm going to add in the oil over to it. Now mix it really well, and we are going to knead this for about 15 minutes, just the way we did our pav. This bread is going to be a little bit dense than usual. Why? Because we are adding loads of wheat flour and very little amount of plain flour maida, which means there's a lack of gluten here. Gluten is a type of protein in the flour which develops while we knead it, and it develops a 3D mesh which captures the air which is released by the yeast. So yeast releases the air, that is carbon dioxide, and the 3D mesh, that is gluten, captures it. So that is the reason of bread being fermented. And how does it ferment? So you can add half a tablespoon of gluten to this for that perfect light and awesome bread. So dough is needed. If your dough is too sticky, you can sprinkle a little bit of plain flour maida or wheat flour. We don't want it to be too sticky, so I'm going to smear a little bit of oil over to it, just about half a teaspoon, and give it a good mix around. Grease a bowl with a little bit of oil and add the dough in. Now I'm going to cover this with a damp cloth and keep it aside in a warm spot for about 45 minutes, and then we're going to shape this into a log. So our bread dough is proofed. Now I'm going to take it out and knead it for about a minute. Here I have a loaf tin which I have greased with some oil and then dusted with some plain flour maida. Now we are going to shape our bread dough into the shape of the log. I like to first make a ball and then roll this like this. Like this we get least amount of cracks and creases. So our log is ready. Now this goes inside our tin. I like to press it down a little bit so that it goes in all the corners. If you like a square bread, you can cover the top of this tin and leave it to ferment. Or if you want an open loaf, I'm going to drop little bit of water over here so that it does not dry out when it's fermenting or proving. Now we are going to leave it to prove for about 45 minutes. After 30 minutes, we are going to heat up a tandoor for baking. Here I have a tandoor for baking breads and things that need some good browning. You need a tandoor instead of a cooker, but you can also get around with a microwave stand, a grill stand that you get in a microwave, and a big kadhai you can settle up something like that. I'll explain that in our website cookingshooking.in. So for baking a bread, you need a tandoor like this. Not only tandoor, when it's heating up, we are going to add in some charcoal over to it. This charcoal will ensure that the temperature inside is pretty hot and it will bake really well. So some charcoal goes in. I'm going to cover this and heat this up for about 15 minutes. So our dough is proofed for about 40 minutes and our tandoor is also getting hot. Till then, let's brush up our dough. You can also use eggs if you eat eggs, or water. So perfect. Now I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of oats over to it and a little bit of sesame. Now this is ready to go inside our tandoor. Now I'm going to place a tawa here. This will diffuse the heat over here. I'm going to place a little bit of foil paper over here. Cover this. Our bread is being baked for the past 15 minutes. Now I'm going to flip this like this for about 5 minutes. Oh my god, this smells heavenly. Now I'm going to flip this around, and now I'm going to cover this and keep this for about 5 minutes, and I have switched off the flame now. So our bread is perfectly baked. I'm going to get it out. Looks awesome, isn't it? Now I'm going to take some butter and brush it on the top. That's the first thing that we want to do. Now I'm going to loosen this from the edges, taking a small knife. Most probably this will be loosened itself. So this looks good. I'm going to take it out and flip it upside down. And the bread looks good. I'm going to take a damp cloth. Make sure it's huge enough to roll this. We're going to roll the bread in the damp cloth. This will make sure that the bread's crust gets soft and perfect. Once your breads are cooled in the damp cloth, transfer them into a plastic bag or a Ziploc bag. So you can see I have baked 2 breads here. It's the same recipe, same ingredients, everything same, just a little bit of difference, and I'm going to tell you that what's the difference. So while I was showing you how to make the bread, I greased the cake tin and then I sprinkled some plain flour maida, which made this texture, as well as it interfered with the bread to rise. So the bread did not rise that much because it was a dry surface for the bread to rise. While in this, I greased the cake tin generously with some oil and then baked it. So I have baked a dozen of these in the past 15 days. So that has taught me this. So always grease your bread tin and do not flour it, otherwise you will get this texture, as well as it will not rise that much as much the other one has risen. So that was done intentionally, but it sounds the other way. Lol. Always use a serrated knife like this or a bread knife to slice your bread. Awesome texture, isn't it? So make anything with this and enjoy, or just grab a slice like me. Homemade cannot beat anything, especially homemade breads. So make sure you check out the recipe on our website cookingshocking.in as well. Comment down below what you would like on our next eggless baking without oven video. Also hit the subscribe button because we upload every Wednesday and Saturday. Thank you for watching. Bye.